Hey folks, this is Rhykker, and we just got some new details for Diablo 4's first expansion, Vessel of Hatred. During the Xbox Games Showcase, they revealed the cinematic opening to the expansion plus a release date, but then they just stealth dropped on the Diablo YouTube channel another video with a bunch more details, not super in-depth, but a number of new things confirmed, including the exact name of the new class, confirming the past leaks, including that pets are coming, different mounts. We're going to go through everything right now. So first off, release date for Vessel of Hatred will be October 8th. That's actually sooner in the year than I expected. With Season 4 set to end on October 6th, that actually means we're going to have a pretty short Season 5 before Vessel of Hatred drops. We'll dissect the cinematic a bit later, but next we'll dissect the short 1-minute video in which Vessel of Hatred game director Brent Gibson discussed a few more details. So first off, he said that July 18th, we're going to get the full reveal of the new class, which is called the Spiritborn, again, as those old leaks said. We'll be seeing gameplay about it, but in the meantime, they showcased this art over here. But he describes the Spiritborn as apex predators built for the jungle. But right off the bat, you can see they appear to be wielding some kind of polearm. He also announced that pets will be coming in the game, just like we had in Diablo 3, pets that will follow you, picking up golden materials. This is a feature that tons of people have been requesting come to the game. It looks like it's coming with the expansion. And he said if you log into the game right now, there's a good boy waiting for you in Kiovashad. And if you pre-purchase the Ultimate Edition of the expansion, you'll unlock 3 special pets, who are all named after Diablo 2 NPCs. Alcor, the Snow Leopard, Haralti, the Canine Pet, and Natalia, the Tiger Pet. Also, pre-ordering the Ultimate Edition will get you the Warcat mount. I know people have been asking for mounts other than horses for a while now. I had a good feeling they were going to bring some kind of a jungle cat with the whole jungle expansion. You also get an Angelic Wings cosmetic, a Town Portal cosmetic, and 5 armor sets. It all seems to be very Aztec/Mayan themed. Now, it turns out they actually dropped some additional details in the description of the cinematic on YouTube. The description reads, "The battle against Hatred has only just begun. That's because we defeated Lilith, the daughter of Hatred, but now we gotta fight Papa Mephisto, the real Lord of Hatred. Journey into the new region of Nahantu in search of Narelle, who is both suffering the fate of her choice to imprison the primeval Mephisto and seeking a means to destroy him. Become the apex predator of the jungle as the all-new Spiritborn class. Recruit mercenaries to aid you in combat. Recruit mercenaries. Mercenaries confirmed. Fight together in a new PvE co-op activity and more. New PvE co-op activity. Co-op. Could this be the raids? There were rumors about raids. People were saying Blizzard was asking about raids in surveys, leaked surveys. Then we also got a blog post with more details. They describe the Spiritborn as an entirely new class to the Diablo series. They are battle-hardened with mystical synergies that could only be awakened deep within the jungles of Nahantu. Become one of the Spiritborn and embrace the ethereal spirits, capital S, entwined with this ancient civilization." The blog post gives us this artwork of mercenaries and says, "Mercenaries can join you on your quest to battle side by side with you in the dense undergrowth of Nahantu and beyond. These powerful allies grow in power as they progress, and each are equipped with unique abilities to help you in combat." We see one that looks like a barbarian from Mount Ariat. One appears to be some kind of a ranger dude. One appears to be like a satyr or a harpy, or I don't know what this is. And the last one's a big shield bearer. Then of the new PvE endgame co-op activity, they say, "Lurking within the shadows lies your next great challenge, filled with powerful tribulations and promising rewards. First of its kind to Diablo, this dungeon will require eager warriors to team up and take down various perils together. More details to be revealed soon." So it is a dungeon. It requires teaming up to take down the perils together. The fact that they're saying co-op seems to suggest you have to be teamed up, which again sounds like a raid. They also say that every class will get new skills, new paragon boards, new legendary glyphs, new dungeon types, added activities and rewards from the Tree of Whispers, and more. The blog post also confirms login now to receive a quest in-game that unlocks pets for your character. Upon completion, you'll earn Ashira the Canine Pet in-game. Again, another Diablo 2 Act 2 NPC name. Now, as for the cinematic analysis here, first off, Brent Gibson describes the story as one of isolation and the impacts it has on you as you're trying to protect the things that matter to you the most. We open with Narelle arriving in Nahantu by boat, praying to Akarat, praying to the light for strength, for guidance. She's holding the soul stone of Mephisto, and you can see this black ichor, this tar seeping from it. It's cracked. And I don't know if this is literal or metaphorical. We play with imagery a lot in this cinematic. We know that Narelle has become an unreliable narrator as she starts to see the soul stone float and transform into her deceased mother talking to her in an absolutely heartbreaking scene. Narelle is clearly having a hard time keeping wraps on what's real as Mephisto continues to try to influence her, infect her, corrupt her. And honestly, throughout the cinematic, we're seeing the greatest depiction of a mortal struggling against the corruption of a prime evil. As we've gone through this story before, we've seen the soul stone corrupt people. Narelle tells her mom that she's seeking out the tomb of Akarat. Akarat is basically the person who gave rise to the Zakarum church. We get this imagery of, I guess within Narelle's mind, the struggle between her and Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred. It actually was reminiscent to me of the last Stranger Things season with Vecna and those sequences kind of happening in the mind or wherever that was. And as we zoom out, we can see that Narelle is basically at the heart of hatred, in the chest of the reforming Mephisto. And so you saw those things of basically the air sacs of his lungs inflating around her as he's growing in power, as she's tearing apart at the seams. It's horror executed so well. And I'm really looking forward to the story of this next chapter. But everything taken together now, we got a lot of details, a lot of disparate details that we had to piece together of reveals coming for Vessel of Hatred. Again, July 18th, we're going to get more details on that Spiritborn class. We're going to see some gameplay. I'm getting very hyped for Vessel of Hatred, but what about you folks? What are your thoughts? Sound off in the comments. One thing I can already foresee some heat coming is going to be this new co-op activity. I'm calling it raids. I don't know whether it's going to be raids exactly, but it sounds like it's something that requires co-op. And we've discussed raids a lot for years. People have been asking me, well, what I think about raids coming to Diablo. Some people are very much for it. Some people are very much against it. And my understanding of raids as an activity that they're from MMOs, but they're innately something that cannot be soloed. That the scope of the challenge is such that you cannot solo it. There's mechanics that must be executed simultaneously in different places. You need more than one body. And so what I always envisioned as the way to bring the idea of raids to Diablo and make it still something that could be soloed is it being somehow scalable with the number of players you bring in. Not with regards to just the numbers, but actually the complexity. So let's say with 4 players, there are 4 objectives that spawn. You get the full raid experience. But if you go in with only 2 players, for instance, then 2 of the objectives don't spawn, right? It randomly selects between 2 objectives and you guys have to do those. Therefore, if you go in by yourself, you only have 1 of those objectives, right? I'm distilling the idea to its very bare bones, but just as a way that it's somehow scaling up the challenge while still keeping what's interesting about the raid in that it's some kind of objective more so than just kill monster, while still making it and keeping it accessible to solo players, as I know that is a pain point for a lot of people in the community. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Special thanks to my supporters, and subscribe to join Rhykkers Raiders for more Diablo content.